I killed the first plant I ever owned. It was a gift, a succulent, and it died a tragic death of drowning. Overwatered it. So naturally last year, I decided to grow some tomatoes on my balcony in LA with no real gardening experience. I don't know what possessed me, but yet again, someone gave me another plant, so I said, let's go. Maybe I wanted to prove something to myself. Maybe I wanted to commit to something small and seeing it through to the end. Maybe I just want some fresh tomatoes. I mean, I like tomatoes. Whatever the reason, it didn't go smoothly. It did not go smoothly. But it taught me more than I thought it would. Not just about gardening, but about growth. Why even try? Last year kind of felt like a year for wanting to improve, to follow through, nurture something intentionally. Growing a tomato seems simple enough. You plant the seed, you water it, you wait. Right? Wrong! My coworker ended up giving me a seedling. So all I really had to do was water it and wait. Still not easy, but that's how it started. In a little red cup. I researched everything. I used ChatGPT to help me try to keep this plant alive and flourishing. I watched YouTube videos. I even had a real life tomato grower on standby to help me when I really needed help troubleshooting. Every time a leaf looked weird or the plant drooped a little bit, I called my team. And here's the honest part. Most of the problems were 100% my fault. Yup. Yeah, all of them. Really, all of the problems. My thumb it's not green. It's not green. One day, help. The first big problem was mold. I read about using a diluted baking soda mix to help fight it. Keyword, diluted. I didn't follow the instructions exactly. I rushed it a little bit and I kind of eyeballed the measurements and my plant responded immediately. Immediately responded with how it felt about being sprayed down with this baking soda solution. Leaves stressed, growth slowed. That was my first reminder. Nature does not negotiate. It responds directly to what you give it. If you're impatient, it shows. If you cut corners, it shows. Then came the bugs, which I genuinely didn't expect it. I mean, I live in the city and I live on the second floor. So where are the bugs coming from? The first sign was holes in the leaves. I couldn't figure it out for days until one afternoon while pruning, I touched something squishy. It was a caterpillar, and he had a friend. I have found the demon that has been eating my tomato plant. Look at this son of a gun. He blends right flipping in with the branch dog. I almost touched him whilst cleaning the leaves that I mutilated this morning. Look at all these little holes on my leaves surrounding this mother trucker. Because he's eating my stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I ain't David Attenborough, bro. I ain't gonna save you. You about to get evicted. You ain't paying rent, but you eating my stuff. Look at him cleaning his face. Like this is what I do. Little asshole. Oh yeah. You about to get evicted. That was humbling. Other life will find your plants. Problems will find your projects. Even when you think you're protected. Next up, the gnat situation. Gnats showed up out of nowhere too. But they didn't just show up in the ones or twos. Nah, I wish. They showed up in the tens and tens, multiplying freakishly before I could kill them. I bought sticky traps. I mean, they helped a little bit, but here's what I learned. You can't eliminate every nuisance. Some problems just linger. Those gnats, yeah. They stayed until the end, and I had to just accept that not everything can be fully controlled. Next up, the spider mite collapse. Those other bugs, yeah, they were nuisances. They got on my nerves, you know. I did what I could to kill them, but nothing compares to the spider mites. They were the real ops the whole time, and I never even knew about them until it was too late. I left town for about 4 days for work, and so I asked my sister to do me a solid and water them while I was gone. You have siblings? You can imagine how this went, but I do appreciate the help. Thanks, Valencia. I wrote detailed instructions on how to water the plants. Don't water the leaves, you know. Be mindful. Watch the soil. Put your hands in. See if they're dry. You know, details. Of course, while I was gone, LA had a heat wave because that's how things were going for me this summer with this plant. When I got back, my tomato plant looked pitiful. Just down bad. Underwater, heat stressed, infested, leaves discolored, weak. I tried everything. I went into panic mode, doctor mode. I was prepared to save a life. I tried everything. Neem oil, rinsing the leaves, natural sprays. Every time I thought I'd won, new eggs would hatch. The infestation would start all over again. It became a race at this point. Could I harvest before the mites took my plant out completely? It was stressful. It was stressful. More stressful than I think tomatoes should be, honestly. But I stayed with it, and I got tomatoes. Not giant, picture perfect heirlooms, but mine. What I learned. This wasn't just about gardening. It was a bit of a mirror being held up to me kind of situation. Tough seasons are just unavoidable. No amount of research prevented my problems. Mold happened, bugs happened, heat happened. Creative life is the same. You can prepare, you can study, you can plan, but difficult seasons still arrive. The goal isn't to avoid them. It's to respond well. You can't rush nature. I wanted fast growth. I wanted visible results. But tomatoes grow on their own timeline, not mine. The more I try to optimize, the more I disrupt it. Growth takes time, whether it's a plant, a skill, or a life. You can't rush maturity. Attention to detail changes everything. I started noticing subtle shifts. How the leaves responded to different watering schedules, how the sunlight moved across my balcony throughout the day, how different treatments affected the plant's energy. Small adjustments mattered. Observation became everything. And that mindset spilled into other areas of my life. When you pay attention, you improve. Every stage matters. The sprouting, the watering, the ugly middle, the pest battles, the harvest. If I had only focused on the final tomatoes, I would have missed the whole experience. The messy middle is a part of the process. Maybe, I could argue, the most important part. The fruits of your labor feel different. When I finally harvested my tomatoes, I understood this phrase in a new way. They weren't grocery store perfect, but I grew those tomatoes. There's a quiet pride in that. Not loud, not performative, but just earned. This year I'm starting again. New soil, new seeds, simpler plant, mostly cherry tomatoes. My balcony's not that big. The sunlight isn't ideal, and I know I'll probably run into problems again. But this time, I'm not chasing perfection. I'm paying attention. I understand the stages now. I understand that pests happen. Heat happens. Mistakes happen. Growth isn't linear. It's seasonal. And right now, I'm in planting season. I don't know exactly how this year's harvest will turn out, but I do know this. I'm more patient, I'm more observant, and I'm willing to stay with the process. That's enough. So let's see what grows. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one. All right, everybody. Peace.